Hey, welcome back to the shop. I had to sit it on here for a few days while I was working on this guy. It's gonna be some thing with a finial and a window, but that requires clear mind, and I don't have one today, so I'm gonna make some shavings with this chunk of wood. We're gonna start somewhere there. You take the rest of the day off with pay. Quick tip: if you're getting beat up by your lathe, you're doing something wrong. Let's see this. There's 2 fingers here and 3 over here. Let the tool do the cutting. Don't push it. You can give a piece a proper shape if you don't know where your edge is gonna be. So here's the part where I start giving it the shape that I want. In this case, I don't want it like a regular roundish bowl shape. I wanted a bit of a like an OG shape, almost like a deep plate, I guess, rather than a bowl. So that's what I was looking for. And one of the reasons I do that is because the more of an angle that you have is actually easier. If you're going thin, it is easy to follow the outside contour when you hold on the inside because of the angle, because you're not doing like a steep curve at the bottom. So here I got it more or less what I wanted. I'm gonna put a 10 on. I don't include that part because you probably know how to make a tenon. And here I'm speeding this up because I'm just removing that extra material that I had from the edge. And here is in real time, so you get a sense for the speed and how I do it. But basically you go about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch at a time. Then you clean up a spot and try to blend your cut onto here. I haven't got to what I want to be yet. I think this is the cut that brings me to the thickness I want. Then I do some clean up ahead of it and blend in the cut. So you gotta start ahead of it until you see shavings, and then you move forward. But you gotta be mindful. You see I'm kind of tilting my head looking at the outside of the bolt so I can follow the shape. So more cleanup and we do it again. Then the sun kind of creeped out on me and completely ruined my video, so I removed most of it because it was completely overexposed, like you couldn't see much. However, I left a bit of it because at the end I had like a little hole right through the where the branch is. So I wanted you to see what I did. I put a bit of CA glue and I put some of the shavings. I literally threw them there and patted them up. I did that twice and let that dry before sanding. Once it was all sanded, I used some Dr. Kirk, what is this called? Scratch free. So as you can see, I'm very fast at doing this. Now this is like a ×8 or something. So then I polish that up, and that was it. So I got the removing of the tenon part, but if you're not interested in that, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you want to see me remove the bottom, this is a part. I usually leave them a bit slightly thick at the very bottom, but when I hollow, I go right to the line to where my tenon starts. So if I were to remove the tenon, I will create a funnel there. I will get a hole. So I am using the tenon as part of the base. So I blend my curve that I left a little thick to the tenon, and then I start to thin out the tenon until it's about 1/8 of an inch, because that's going to be consistent with what I have for the rest of the bowl. And right now it's in between centers, but I do that with a vacuum chuck, and then I turn it on and I put the tailstock, and then I turn it off. That way I don't have to worry about the piece flying off. So I do that right to the end when I need to remove the center knob there. And so here I was checking, and the bottom was perfectly flat, so I'm giving it a bit of a dip. That way the bowl sits nice on a table. So here I turn my vacuum on and remove the tailstock, so the piece is being held by the vacuum now, just to remove the little knob there. And then I check that that my cut, that I don't have any tear out or anything like that. If I don't, I give it a quick sanding, put some more finish because it's missing here, and yeah, that brings us right to the end. She's super thin. That came out beautiful. I could probably wear it as a hat too. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll catch up with you in the next one.